So it's been 24 hours and the shiitake block has been soaking in water, and I've had it in the refrigerator to cold shock it and to force it to get some of that moisture back into the block. Now after 24 hours I did place this into a bucket. The reason why is it actually started to leak on the bottom, so be careful. There may be a small hole in it, hopefully not, but mine had a tiny hole in it. I don't know how it happened. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour all the water out. There you go. Do your best to really get it out of there. There. I'm going to sit this on this plate, and on the plate I have a lid. That's so I can elevate it a little bit off the water itself, so when I pour the water in, it's not sitting in the water, and that can create a lot more humidity inside the tent. So after you pour the water out, here's a little trick that I've learned a long time ago, and you know, I didn't discover it. I don't know where it came from, but it really does seem to help. And that is to lift the kit up about 6 inches and then drop it. You want to do that before you move on with taking off the bag and putting it into growing conditions. I don't know exactly what it does, but it kind of triggers things to get moving, and like I said, people swear by it that it really does help their yield and to get things motivated. So do that. So place it on the plate where it's pretty much in the dead center, the best you can. Again, it's sitting on a lid. I want you to find something that can help elevate it off of the plate. I just find a plastic lid, works well, but whatever you can find. Now, we're going to cut away the plastic. And I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut it all away except for the very bottom, like about a ½ an inch all the way around, because the bottom of the plastic, I want to keep that on there, and that will really help from keeping mushrooms from growing on the bottom and going into the water, because the water's on the plate is a high amount of humidity and the mushrooms are going to want to grow into it. So by leaving that on there, it should keep it from growing mushrooms on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut this bag off. There we go. So let's take a look. I'll get you a close-up. See how I kept the plastic on the bottom? I know that's very hard to see, but I did. I want you to notice how I've not touched the brick at all. You know, if you feel the need to have to touch it, please wash your hands. If possible, even spray some alcohol on them to be on the safe side, but all's good. Now, water hasn't been placed on this plate yet. Please understand that. I want you to place this wherever it's going to go, which I like to put it maybe next to a window sill, but never ever in direct sunlight. Okay, it's always going to be off to the side. Regular room lighting like this is plenty to get this growing and to be successful. Okay, now here's the humidity tent that came with it. Going to roll it up here. Now this bag is stiff enough, thick enough, it's a 2 mil, that it shouldn't collapse on you. I know a lot of times you might see other companies want to put skewers in there or something like that to hold it up. I say don't. First off, wooden skewers will actually start to turn green and moldy, and we don't want that. But our tents are nice and thick, so we should be able to just set it down over top and just leave it like that. See? It stays up. The cheaper ones, which are 1 mil, will just kind of collapse on you. Now, water is going to go on the plate. Okay, put as much water as you can. Once you get it into a spot that it's going to stay, the tent will go over top. like this. Now what I don't want you to do is try to tuck it underneath tight and choke off any air that might be coming from underneath. You actually want to put it loosely around, just like that, about this much space, and that should be good enough. Mushrooms might even grow off to the side and hit the plastic, and if you do, just arrange the plastic differently so you know it doesn't touch it. At least try not to. So at this point, your job is to do the best you can to keep the tent misted. And all we do is just lift it up, spray that inside, and set it back down. The water on the plate is going to help with retaining humidity inside the bag. But that's all we're going to do. Now, over the course of the next couple weeks, this is going to grow mushrooms. I will film and bring you back every time I see some progress and try to get some sort of time frame on how fast this is growing. But for now, this is all we can do. Again, just set it in a place that has indirect sunlight. Make sure you put as much water in there as you can. More humidity, the better. Don't forget, you're not going to cut off the plastic on the bottom. That's important. This tent will have to stay misted at all times, okay? So depending on the humidity in your house, you may have to just spray this once or twice a day. Other times 4 or 5 if you have low humidity. Okay? But it's your job to keep it misted at all times. Alright, so when I see some progress, I will get back to you. Thanks.